Hey guys, so today we're doing a repeat of a video that I did when I first started my channel, and I'm going to do a few of these for a few brands because I feel like new products come out all the time from brands, and I feel like then you can get like a different outcome, different review. So today we're doing a full face of Glossier, which is one of my favorite kind of like natural everyday brands. I feel like they first introduced me to like natural makeup and I really liked it, and then I went a bit, not overboard, but I definitely leaned into like the natural oily looking skin. I feel like I don't really do my makeup like that anymore. I do something in between, but these are still some of my favorite products. But since then, Glossier has come out with a lot of new stuff, so we're gonna just do it again, but just incorporate the new products that they came out with, which I think are great as well. But yeah, we're just gonna do a full face of Glossier. Everything I bought here, I bought with my own money. The only thing is I have an affiliate code with Glossier, so I'm gonna put everything in the link. I'm going to put everything in the links in the description, and if you use my links, I'm going to make a percentage. But for some reason, I'm on the affiliate link program, but I'm not on the PR list. So I buy all my own stuff. I'm not complaining, by the way. I'm just saying I bought all of this with my own money. But if you do use my link, you will give me some money, which then will pay me back for the money that I spent on Glossier, I guess. Now, all the disclaimers aside, social media will be in the description along with my main channel, anything else you might need to find. And let's just get into it. Subscribe to the bell, like, comment for engagement. And let's just go. I'm going to actually pull my hair back, which makes me look a little bit, but we'll just go with it. I have a whole box of stuff. First of all, let's use one of my favorite lip products, which is the Glossier Balm.com. And this is their newer scent shade. And I think this was limited edition for Christmas. I'm not sure if they still have it on their website, but it's the Cookie Butter Balm.com. If this one is out of stock, I love the birthday cake one. The birthday cake one and this one are my two absolute favorites. I love sweet scents. I want to feel like I'm eating a dessert when I'm putting lip balm on. This one comes out a tiny bit brown, but you literally can't tell. This is basically overpriced Vaseline, but I love it. Last time I used the Future Dew oil, which is kind of like skincare and makeup in one. You can use it as a primer, but you can use that as skincare as well. And I used to actually use that just in general as I did my makeup. I would do that and the Glossier skin tint on top. And then I would barely set with powder. And it created a greasy look. I think it looked fine. But like, I don't do my makeup like that now. I feel like I do something kind of more in between. So, it just goes to show how much your style changes when you do your makeup. But anyway, I'm going to use the Glossier Priming Moisturizer today. I got a sample, not a sample, like a travel size in like a set. Oh, that was the only thing that they gifted me in PR was for Christmas. I think I got to redeem like one of these like mini travel size sets. So this was in there. So I guess this is PR. I really like this. I think I've used it before. And I used the Rich one before, the Priming Moisturizer Rich, but I haven't, have I used the regular one? I'm not sure. Anyway, and it's a priming moisturizer, so it's mainly a face cream. You can use it without putting on makeup because it's not a moisturizing primer, it's a priming moisturizer. That makes a difference. I feel like people get confused sometimes. The second word is what the product actually is. So this is a moisturizer that is priming, but if you have a moisturizing primer, then it's mainly a primer that is just moisturizing. I feel like it gets really confusing. Anyway, I love this face cream. I think it's really nice just for every day. Like, look at that. It doesn't make you look greasy, but it definitely makes your skin hydrated, all of that good stuff. So I think this is good for just like normal skin. And then if you have more dry skin, you can use the Rich one. And then if you have oily skin, they have the Oil Balance one, which I actually really enjoy as well. And then if you need like super glowy skin, the Future Dew oil is where it's at, with shininess. Now, one of my favorite products, you guys know this, the skin tint. This is in G11. I've used the same shade since literally the start, and I think it just works. So I just use it. This is the dangerous way to apply it because it spits every now and then, because there's like air trapped in the squeezy bottle, and then it always goes on my clothes. But I continue to do it this way because this is how much I apply, by the way. It seems a bit excessive, but this is literally water. So I'm going to use a brush. Sometimes I use a sponge. I know a sponge will soak up even more coverage that you're already missing with this product, but I enjoy using a sponge with everything. But I'm going to do it properly today and use a brush to keep some more coverage. But you can see this is like very natural. Basically nothing there, but I love this product. If I want very quick makeup, look like I'm not wearing any makeup, but just even out my skin ever so slightly, this is my absolute favorite. I don't think any skin tint comes close to what I feel for this. Up close looks like there is absolutely nothing on my skin. That's the tea. So let me just show you guys up close. I'll try and kind of, you know, see that? It just looks like there is nothing on my skin, which for some, that's a good look. For some, they want to look like they're wearing makeup, and I get both perspectives. Then the stretch concealer, I already opened it. I'm just going for it. This is the stretch concealer in G11. This is, I've used up probably 2 of these by now, or 3. I think it's just a great product. If you had to pick one, stretch concealer or skin tint, I'd go with the stretch concealer only because it's a little bit more versatile because it has more coverage than the skin tint. So I use it to spot conceal after the skin tint and then just under my eyes. And what I sometimes do is I just use the stretch concealer kind of all over my face instead of doing skin tint and concealer. So if I had to pick one, go with the concealer. But if you want the full duo, I'd say get both and layer them for a super natural look. Once again, just up close and personal. The thing about glossy makeup that I remember these videos used to be really popular where people would try Glossier when it kind of first came on the scene, and people hated it. Well, some people hated it, and I get it if this is not your style of makeup, but I feel like the website makes it pretty obvious what kind of makeup this, like, they're not trying to hide the fact that this is just lacking in coverage. They're very much advertising it that way, like on the pictures on the models and in the descriptions, you know, skin tint, watery, liquid, like just the way they describe the products on the website, like, you know that they're not trying to sell this as full coverage, Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish foundation. Like, they're selling it as what it is. So I remember I used to get really angry when people would try Glossier and then just be like, oh my god, this has like 0 coverage, it's so natural. But like in a bad way, they'd be like, oh my god, like, I hate it, it's so natural. It's like, that's what they advertised it as. And yeah, I remember it just kind of infuriated me a little bit. So go into this kind of knowing what to expect so that you won't be disappointed, because I think a lot of people went into it like reading that it's natural, but then being like, oh my god, like, it would come to their house and be like, oh my god, I didn't realize it'd be this natural. It's like, nope, the website literally tells you this is, I should have gotten up for a smaller concealer brush, but I just kind of want to use the same brush. See, this is what your skin looks like kind of when you're done with it, and you don't need to set it. Obviously, it will last longer if you do, but if you want it to kind of wipe off naturally during the day, you can just leave it like this, and then it'll be fine. I actually don't have the Wilder. When I first did this video, I had the Wilder, which is a very good natural loose powder if you just need something that like slightly blurs, slightly sets, but isn't super mattifying, drying, crackly. Then the Wilder is one of my favorite powders, but I didn't buy it for this video because I'm on a no buy, so I'm just using what I have in stock in my house because it's a shop at this point. So I might just use a different powder, but the effect remains the same. I'm not going to set my whole face anyway. They recently came out with the bronzer. This is the Solar Paint Luminous Bronzer Cream, which a lot of people kind of like didn't really understand because it's super, on the website, it's got shimmer going through it, and it's a doe foot applicator. So people thought they were going to get the same thing as the Cloud Paints, which are not, they don't have any shimmer going through them, any glitter. They're just dewy, but they're just like pigment, opaque. And they're in squeezy tubes that look like paints, but this is very different. I think it's a similar formula and it's a similar vibe. I personally enjoy it. I like shimmery bronzers, I like shimmery blushes, I like shimmery stuff on my face, but if you hate it, then this isn't for you. This is in the shade Flare, if you're wondering. I think this is like the perfect color for me and the perfect undertone. I don't know, I kind of guessed on the website, but I think it looks quite nice. I like to contour with bronzer. Sometimes I contour with contour, most of the times on an everyday basis, but I feel like this actually has a pretty neutral undertone. Like, it's not too crazy, right? So I think it does the job of both highlighting of both contouring and bronzing. That's the shade Flare, if you're wondering. It's got a very similar formula to the Cloud Paints. It's just shimmery, and it's a doe foot instead of a squeezy tube, which actually is a little bit more manageable. I think the squeezy tube, you waste a lot of product, but it's kind of iconic. It's kind of how they started, you know, everyone loves the Cloud Paints. I'm pretty sure they're like a beloved product, but they are a bit of an inconvenience with the packaging. So anyway, this is how that blends out. I have a piece of hair here, sorry. That's how it looks. It just looks super natural. You're not going to get the same effect with this as, for example, the, you know, the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand or something like that. It's a lot less pigmented and it's just there to add a little bit of color to your face. I remember when I used to do glossy makeup, sometimes I just wouldn't use a bronzer. I'd just use a blush because that's all they had. So I would just use blush and call it a day. I thought that was a pretty natural look. I never make this too precise, like my nose contour, because I'm just kind of like, if you don't try hard, it's not gonna look weird. I find nose contour sometimes in person just looks like, you know, the contour that you see on TikTok nowadays with like the really sharp lines and then basically just using the NYX jumbo white pencil as highlight. I just don't think that looks good in person. It's kind of like us back in the day with like Instagram makeup in like 2016. We all thought that it would look good in person the way it did on camera, but they had like filters on and blurring and stuff, and then we did that makeup and we went outside and it was just cake face. I don't know how I came on this topic. Oh yeah, nose contour. It looks a little bit crazy in person sometimes. So I have these 3 blushes, which I love all of them. I've used them a lot. They're all, you know, pretty heavily squeezed. I think my favorite is always Beam, which is a corally orange, but I love Puff, which is just Barbie pink. And then, oh yes, I remember this, Dusk I used to use as bronzer a little bit. So I would use Dusk kind of in the bronzer areas, and then I would use like a blushy blush on the blush areas. That's what I did. But yeah, I'd say these are good tones for anyone with fair skin, but they have a lot of like deeper ones like Storm and just a few other ones. So if you want to, just go on the website and just see kind of what colors they have, but they have a lot from really, really fair to really, really deep, which is nice. I'm gonna use Puff today. I think it just goes with my, oh, this is what I mean. It just kind of drops out and you get a lot on your hand. I'm just gonna go with the same brush that I used for bronzer. That's kind of like, I feel like this kind of makeup is so low maintenance. You don't really have to like use 5,000 different brushes and blend for 5,000 hours. You can just, you know, look how natural that looks. I'm just blushing a little bit. Oh my god, why don't I do this makeup more often? Now I'm gonna go back to my greasy phase. No, Angelika, you're doing a project plan. You have a lot of stuff to finish. And none of this is in my project plan. But look how good that looks. It's just so natural. It's so pretty, so natural. I might do this makeup more often. For highlight, they have the Halo Scope, which comes in 3 different shades or 4 different shades. I have Quartz, which is the lightest one. And basically what this is a ring of shimmer on the outside and then coconut oil, I believe, on the inside. So if you're allergic to coconut oil, please be careful. If you have any sensitivity to coconut oil, please be careful. But I don't personally, and I think this looks really nice. I know a lot of people hated this product because it basically just looks like sweat, but I think it just looks good. Sometimes I use this without any makeup, like literally skincare and this, and I think my skin just looks super juicy. And I just basically put it on my hand like this. I melt it on my hand and then I grab it on one of my fingers, and once it's all warmed up, you just tap it in and it just gives you that dewy, luminous look. I personally think it looks amazing, but that's just me. It's an acquired taste. But if you enjoy the sweaty, like lit from within, I just took a slight jog look, then you might really enjoy this. But if you want actual shimmer and like an actual highlight, stay clear. And if you're allergic to coconut oil, stay clear. And once again, it's undetectable. All of this makeup is super undetectable on your skin. Like, you can tell that I'm wearing makeup because you're like, you have blush, but like, where is it? You can't detect it. Look at that. Like, you don't know where things start and end. You don't really know where things are, but like, you can tell something is on my face, but you're not really sure what. Let me bronze my neck a little bit because things are getting a little bit emotional. Concealer as a bit of a primer, eyeshadow primer, because they obviously don't sell an eyeshadow primer. I feel like eyeshadow primer is very like full glam vibes. I'm not gonna set this. I'm gonna risk it and see how it looks if I just do eyeshadow over the top. So they've come out with a few eyeshadowy type things. They came out with these first, I believe, and these are the shimmery like liquid shadows. I have the shade Cub and the shade Slip, which I used last time. They're super natural, and when I say natural, I mean like barely anything there. So this is Slip, and then I'm going to put Cub next to it and show them to you guys. Unblended, like these are unblended what they look like. Once you stop blending, things start disappearing. These aren't my favorite, you know, shimmer shadows. This is what they look like, but then you, obviously you're going to start blending them out a little bit. And once you do that, there's like barely anything there. I kind of just forget to use these because they're so natural that I just basically forget. I can get the same effect with just whatever's in my eyeshadow palette. But then they also came out with matte versions of that, which have some very mixed reactions. And then they came out with these, which are 3-pan monochromatic shadows, and they have a bunch of shades on the website. Now, I've watched reviews of these, and apparently some of these are amazing, some of them are really bad. I think I just got really good ones. This is the shade Almond. So this one. I really enjoy this one. I remember liking it. And then I have the shade Jute, which is supposed to be really cool toned, and I find this one a little bit more pointless because it's super fair. Like, you're gonna get a very icy fair look. Like, there's not a lot going on, but basically the whole premise of these is you can take this out, so afterwards you don't have to buy the whole metal thing. You just buy the insert once you're done with eyeshadows. So this is for people that just do very simple looks every day. They don't do anything crazy. They use the same eyeshadow palette every day for their life, just to work or something. You get 3 formulas: matte, like just a regular shimmer, and then a more glimmery, glittery shimmer. So, but they're all in the same tonation. Yeah, I think I got 2 very good formulas. I just randomly picked the ones that I thought I'd use on a more regular basis, and then they just came out to be really nice. But I heard that there are some inconsistencies in formula with some other ones, so beware. I'm not sure which ones are good, but these 2 are good, if you're wondering. This one's very pale though, so if you're any darker than me, the Jute one is out of question. This one, I think it works for a few more skin tones. But they have like green, they have, I think, a deeper one, so just pick whichever one you like. I think this is for people that wear the same eyeshadow every day. Like, they just go to work, they do the same makeup, they don't have a large collection, they just kind of do the same makeup look every day. And then that makes sense to have the refillable pan, because you're probably going to finish this at some point, and then you can just either grab a different shade or the same shade, do whatever you want. See, it's just a natural blendable eyeshadow formula. It's nothing special, but it's nothing bad either. I think this is great for just anyone that wants simple makeup looks every day. Bear in mind, I am doing this over a really dewy, unset concealer, so the fact that it's blending this well is actually quite impressive, because the stretch concealer is not the kind of concealer that you would use as a primer. Like, even if you use concealer as primer, that one is not it, because it's so dewy. I have a piece of hair here that's tickling me. The only issue with dewy makeup is the amount of hair that sticks to your face, or just like dust. So this is quite impressive, like just the way that this is blending and looking, and it's not sticking and dragging. I think that's quite impressive, if you ask me. So this is what that looks like. That's just the matte. Now I'm gonna take just a flat brush and go into the matte again and just put it under my eyes. I also haven't set under my eyes. I think glossy makeup is the kind of makeup where you don't need to set it, but you can if you want to with the Wilder, like I said, but I don't have it, and sometimes I didn't set my makeup and it was fine. I'm gonna go into the shimmer and use that on the outer corner. So personally, if I was buying these eyeshadows again, I would only get this one. I wouldn't get Jute. As much as it's like a nice eyeshadow, I just don't see myself really using it because it's so pale that it really kind of adds nothing into my life. It's not bad if that's what you're looking for, but with the kind of eyeshadow looks that I do, it's not that useful. Anyway, that's in the outer corner, and then I'm going to take the glimmery one and put it on the inner corner. I think these are actually really nice. I'm not saying they're like the best eyeshadows I've ever used, but that's not what they're supposed to be. They're not supposed to be the next, you know, Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona. They're supposed to be for the natural, you know, makeup wearer. I'm also going to go into Jute for one of these. Might just use this glimmery one on the inner corner. Okay, that looks a bit ashy. Oh, I don't really like that. I thought this would be nicer. See, I just have no use for it. It's like in that in-between where it's like too deep for highlight, but it's too light for me to like actually contour my eye shape. So it's just one of those like in-between colors that I don't really care for. Anyway, that is that look. That's it. That's all that's going on. Oh, they also have the Glossier Pro Tip, which is my favorite eyeliner of all time. I'm gonna use it now. It's super matte, super black. It's super thin as well, which I enjoy. All of my makeup is super unset everywhere, so it's just dewy. The eyeliner is struggling to like stick down properly, so it's looking a little bit faded and almost blurry. So I would recommend, if you're doing eyeliner, set your makeup more, because it is looking a little bit faded, and I feel like it will not bleed, but it will fade. Like I can literally just take it off. It's not sticking properly to the skin because obviously the makeup is greasy, and grease takes makeup off. That's why makeup removers are oily. So just be careful. If you don't want to set it anywhere else, I'd recommend just setting around the eyes, kind of in this area, and then you'll get a good look. Because right now it's a slip inside on my eyes, so this makeup probably won't last very long. But that's kind of what Glossier is about. I just think it's the whole, you know, aesthetic. Anyway, eyebrows. Let's get to eyebrows. I love these. This is the Brow Flick. This is the Boy Brow. I'm using the shades Blonde, even though my eyebrows are pretty dark. I think going one shade down instead of one shade up with brows, if you're looking for a natural look, is the way to go, personally. So I'm just going to use the Boy Brow in Blonde. Brush everything kind of up. Like even just with the Boy Brow. Eyebrows already have shape. Eyebrows are strong. If you've already got quite defined brows and you just want them to be a little bit more organized, even if you don't want any extra kind of filling in, you can just buy the clear Boy Brow. But it's got like fibers in it, and it just sets your brows in a really nice way. It makes them look more defined and just more full. So if you're just looking for an extra oomph, this is it. Look at that. The Brow Flick is one of these markers, which is my preferred way of filling in my eyebrows. Why is this one kind of ran out? This one's coming to an end. And I just fill in the front a tiny bit. There you go. Those are the natural brows. How easy was that? Anyway, then we have mascara. This one is also kind of hit or miss. I feel like people either love it or they hate it. This is the Glossier Lash Slick, which is plastic wand, super watery formula, but it just looks super natural. It looks like you've just like tinted your eyelashes. So let's just go in. Okay, so this is about where I'll leave the lashes. Like I think they just look very natural. There's nothing else that needs to be said for that. Obviously be careful with not setting your under eyes. It's a choice I'm making today, but obviously you're going to get some stamping under the eyes because it's oily. It's going to take off the mascara. But yeah, if you curl your lashes, these actually will look really long, but I think it just adds a tint. Like it's not doing anything outrageous. It's literally just adding a tint to your lashes and making them a little bit longer. But you can basically do this mascara without any makeup on if you just want to spruce up your lashes a little bit. For lips, I personally love their lip products. I love the glosses, but I don't have any right now, and I'm not buying any glosses because you guys know how many I have. But I have a few lip products. TheBalm.com. Then they came out with, these are actually discontinued, I believe. These are from the Glossier Play collection, is the vinyl lip stuff in the shade Pony, and it's just super glossy, kind of pigmented lip products, but these are discontinued, so I'm not going to show it to you guys. Then we have my favorites. This is the Generation G lipsticks. I have the Leo and Cake. These are super matte, almost blotted lip looks. So this is Cake, and then Leo is deeper and just more brown. Obviously I'm going over them a few times. They're not going to look this pigmented on the lips unless you keep on piling on. And then they came out with these, which are dupes. They're called Ultra Lips. I think these are dupes for the Charlotte Tilbury lip balms that I really enjoy as well. I have Lucite, which is just basically a clear with a slight pink tint to it. This one right here. It's just a glossy look. I find these really nice. They're like really cushiony on the lips. And then I have Villa, which I think is a dupe for Pillow Talk. And I've spoken about this before. This is Villa. It looks like Pillow Talk on the lips. So let's just, I'm going to show you guys Cake on the lips because it's, to this day, one of my favorite blotted lips looks. Just take everything off my lips. Obviously I've had lip filler since my last Glossier video, so I don't have to use lip liner. I used to put lip liner under this just to define my border, but it looks a little bit more defined now. But even then, like even back then, I didn't always put lip liner under this. I think I liked the blurred lines. It was kind of a look. So this is just how that looks. I think it looks so nice. And if you just, you know, how nice is that? Very nice. And then let's take Villa, which is the Pillow Talk dupe, and put that on, just so you guys can see what it looks like. See, super glossy. This is literally a dupe for the formula that is Charlotte Tilbury. It's the same formula, the same vibe. If you don't want to spend all the money on the Charlotte Tilbury ones, these are a little bit more affordable. They're not super affordable, but you save a few bucks. So that's what that looks like. That's the whole Glossier look. Let me get an up close and personal. Anyway, that is the updated look since last time. I might do Leo, which is that more brown look. I think it goes with the palette. I think this looks so nice. I love the Generation G lipsticks. They're not drying, but they give you the blotted look just without the dryingness. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, anything in the comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time I think of something to do. So hit that bell, you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links, any of the links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.